Hello, and welcome back to Wrestling is Her. I'm your host, Raja, and I'm joined by the illustrious John.
Illustrious. I like that.
And we are here to inform you on all the crazy, wonderful happenings of the world of women's wrestling.
Oh, you mean Wrestling is Her is here?
Yes, indeed, it is here.
For people who don't watch Stardom, they're kind of like, what the...
Why did he say it
Yeah,
like
why
that?
did he say it like that? We're looking at you, Shirakawa.
With all the love
Yes.
and adoration in the world.
Especially with your new gear, man. Your new gear is awesome.
Yes. So we've had some pretty exciting stuff go down.
A few things.
Over the last week and a half or so. So let's just jump right in.
All right.
We're just going to dive in the deep end.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Starting with, of course, we saw WWE Elimination Chamber.
Yes, we did.
Over the last couple of weeks. And the Women's Elimination Chamber to decide who would be facing Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it was going to be Rhea Ripley or Nia Jax. But as we saw at Elimination Chamber, Rhea Ripley retained her title in front of her family. It was a very sweet moment.
Perth.
Yes, in Perth.
Good day.
But the Elimination Chamber match was kind of wild. Like,
It was kind of wild.
the way the fans reacted to certain people and stuff like that. And of course, we had Becky, Naomi, Tiffany Stratton, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, and Bianca Belair
Right.
in the Elimination
Was
Chamber.
it Tiffy time?
It felt like Tiffy time.
It did, didn't it?
I know she's not ready for that like WrestleMania title shot yet. Talent-wise, she absolutely could do it. I absolutely love her.
See, I think stuff like that's good every now and then. I think that
Just shock the system.
absolutely. Absolutely. I think that sometimes just doing it, just going with it, I think that's what you do. It's like somebody coming in and just, they got a lot of momentum, like that early momentum. The
Right.
fans love you, but there's nothing to hate about you yet, you know?
Agreed. I kind of wish we had gotten more of the play on the whole Becky Lynch, Tiffany Stratton. Like, they had a whole feud over the NXT Women's title.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
I
true.
kind of wish we'd seen a little more of that, but it was a really good match, and Liv Morgan did amazingly well.
Right.
Like, she eliminated Tiffany and Bianca Belair, which is like no small feat, honestly. But even so, after eliminating Bianca, like 2 seconds later, Becky Lynch eliminated Liv Morgan to win the match.
It kind of squashed the heat a little bit. Like it's
A little.
You got like that moment, and that's such a microcosm of everything they've done with Liv from the very beginning.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, here's your big Liv moment, and here's
Live your dreams,
here's
but
your
don't.
hopes and dreams. You know, just destroyed.
Yeah.
It almost makes me, if I'm Liv and I'm in the back, and they're like, "All right, kid, here's the deal. You're gonna go over." I'm like, oh God, no. How about a time, you know, like, cause everything good they destroy her.
Yeah. And
And-
it just never gets there.
Yeah.
Feels like, and Becky Lynch just has this chip on her shoulder, I guess, with this whole Nia Jax and Rhea Ripley thing, because she ruined Liv's match against Nia Jax.
Yeah.
So it's just been a whole mess. And as we prophesized, I guess, that Becky Lynch will be facing Rhea Ripley
Yes.
at WrestleMania.
Boy, that was a stretch too.
This is crazy.
It was a whole, press conference and
I
face off.
didn't really know what was gonna happen.
Me either, man. Me either.
But
They could have remade all those posters.
yeah. Oh God, the posters. If you don't know, there was recently a poster released a couple days ago.
There's been a couple
for
posters.
the 40 days till WrestleMania
Oh, yeah.
40 kind of moment
Right.
that they had. And the poster that they released on X, they being WWE, it was nice. It had all the competitors up there, but conspicuous by her absence was Royal Rumble winner and Night 1 main eventer Bayley
Yeah.
was not on the poster. And in her place where she should have been was Bianca Belair, who does not have a WrestleMania match.
Right.
So people were understandably confused
Yeah.
and a little heated at the fact that Bayley was not on the poster. And this, of course, she's had this happen before.
Oh, yeah.
Bayley has been shafted about as much as Liv Morgan, maybe more,
Right.
honestly.
I think more.
WWE did kind of rectify the situation by they created a new poster with more people on it and they put Bailey on that poster, but they didn't tweet that poster out for like the 40 days and all that spectacular like moment thing. They still just had the one poster that only has Bianca on it and not Bailey.
So I thought that I was letting WWE off the hook with this. I thought maybe Google's new Gemini AI had created the poster. I thought maybe they were like, make the poster, Gemini. And, that's what it came out with.
That's understandable,
and
right?
They kept putting it in there, but no matter how many times they put it in there, Liv just wouldn't appear. I mean, Bailey wouldn't appear. Sorry.
So
Liv wouldn't appear either.
No, neither of them are allowed on.
Yeah.
But of course, it's just crazy because Bailey is like, arguably, in my opinion, she has the best story in the women's division in WWE right now. Like, it's a long-running story. There's the whole friendship aspect and the being betrayed, and I think that should be capitalized on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like a hell of a story.
It's like they just forget it's there because, I mean, you've got Mommy on the other hand, who everyone loves and we love.
Yeah,
Rhea Ripley is an amazing superstar.
Universal.
And she deserves all the love and adulation she's received. But so does Bailey. I mean, she's been killing it recently and through her whole career, and I just hate it for her sometimes.
Yeah, Rhea Ripley also in the news because of, an X thing, a statement on Twitter or Instagram, one of the two, about people booing Maxine Dupree out of the building.
Right.
And, and how would you feel if somebody, and of course I'm just paraphrasing, I don't have it in front of me, but how would you feel if somebody just came to your work and booed you? I'm thinking, people come to work and boo me all the time, actually.
It's a normal everyday occurrence.
It's a normal everyday occurrence. I would eat it up personally.
Right. You just kind of got to capitalize
I'd go
on
for
that.
more heat.
Yeah.
Like, I would throw a wrist lock on somebody and pull their hair. Yeah.
That's when you listen to the fans. And kind of
absolutely.
Pivot.
Yeah. I'd work it a little bit more. Listen, so I agree and disagree. Mm-hmm. So I agree with the fact that we shouldn't be so unfair with people trying to improve their craft.
Yeah.
Everybody has to start, right? Everybody has a first day. Everybody has this. So here's where I disagree. It's the WWE main roster. Mm-hmm. There are a million ready, willing, and able competitors.
Yes.
That wouldn't look like that.
Right.
In the ring.
Yeah, they're kind of doing her a disservice putting her in that position.
She should be somewhere learning a few holds. Mm-hmm. Because here's the long and short of it. She's not that good.
No, she's not ready for that position.
In the ring, I'm not being mean, okay? I am not being mean. She is not that good in the ring. No. She's clunky at best.
She doesn't have the basics down, and it shows.
Yeah. I mean, it shows. You see right through it, And, so I get that, fans.
We understand the sentiment of not bullying people. But also, WWE kind of has to read the room and be like, okay, maybe we shouldn't be putting her in these matches.
Right. Who's putting this person in the situation,
to get bullied, right?
Right. And
it's terrible.
And also your dance partner, right? So if you're good enough, you can cover up a very green person's flaws.
Yes.
I've seen it for years, Tom McGee. It can happen. And so there's definitely some things they can tweak. You can go out there. There's ways to have matches where you don't expose too much.
Right.
And, so that I get where she's coming from there. Obviously, they travel together. They're all so close. You take up for your friends. And she didn't mean anything. She didn't mean to start a big shitstorm about it.
Well, you're going to, though, if you put something out on X.
And that's the thing. Like, we learn, right? So you're in the public eye, man. You want to be part of the, biggest multi-gazillionaire, conglomerate of wrestling out there. Well, you might want to be the best.
Yeah.
And put on the best. And she's not the best at all.
No, she needs a lot more work.
She really does. In fact, a lot of stuff I see is not,
it's not quite up to scratch.
It's not quite there. But anyway.
I understand completely. So why don't we talk about some exciting women's action going on over in Ring of Honor, where the TV championship tournament has continued.
Yes.
We officially have our second round matches solidified. So in the second round, we're going to see Diamante take on Billy Starks, which is a big ticket match with that whole feud.
Absolutely.
Mercedes Martinez will be facing Abaddon, which will just be killing each other match.
Yeah.
Layla Hirsch will face Red Velvet, which I'm very excited about. That's going to be a fantastic match.
I'm a lot more excited about that match now than I would have been even 6 months ago.
Yeah, seeing Red Velvet versus Sandra Moon was in the first round was
Red Velvet
amazing.
She's really upped her ante.
Yes, she has.
Nice ante, Red Velvet, but
your auntie's very nice, but you've made her even nicer.
Yeah, no, she's done really, really well, and there's something about her. She's got some of the Julia stuff, like, not making that comparison, but I'm just saying that she's got some of that pizzazz. And,
right. She can get very aggressive.
She can.
Even for her size.
She can. And it's the thing that we love about Julia is that aggressiveness and, taking it over and just like raw, and,
absolutely.
and she's got that. I wish she would learn how to hit her finisher.
Maybe get a new finisher.
If you're listening, you beautiful woman. All right. You're an amazing, amazing worker. You just heard me say that.
Yes.
Get a different finisher.
Hey, we made the Shining Baszler go away. Maybe we can deal with this too. And the last match in the second round, which I think is going to have a lot of eyes on it because it could go either way and really change the face of this tournament, is Queen Aminata versus Taya Valkyrie.
Yeah, and that's crazy,
That's
man.
two heavy hitters in this tournament, and one of them's going to go out.
It is. It's going to be great. I'm hoping that Taya, because Taya seems to either jail
or not. Depends on who she's fighting, I guess.
But I've never seen it to such a degree in all my years of pro wrestling.
She's very, up or down.
Yeah,
no
man. Like, in all my years, whether it's as a fan or a wrestler, I've never seen it so apparent, like whether the dance partner jails or not with somebody.
Right.
Because her matches have been next level killer. Awesome, right? Just amazing. Or not.
Yeah.
And it's not like they're terrible. I don't think I've ever seen a terrible Taya match.
No.
It's just that it doesn't seem to gel.
It's not natural.
Like circle in the square kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Her match against Susie Love was kind of like that.
And the thing is, Taya's still going to get that damn circle in the square.
Yes, she will make it fit.
Yeah, it's going to go in. So,
you just have to force it.
Right. I would rather see it go in the right hole.
I think she and Queen Aminata will have a very competitive match against one another. I kind of have my fingers crossed for Queen Aminata just because I love her so much and what she's doing right now.
I believe that this is one of those cases where you go with what's hot. And I believe that Queen Aminata another person has a great story. I think that it would be really, really cool to see that happen. And I think that she's got all the momentum. I think if you lose, sometimes if you don't strike when it's hot, you never get that chance again. And there's others that are proven, tried, true, tested. We know that you can still come back and get there.
Right.
Well, Cody Rhodes, for instance. Like, it seems like they're still going to be able to get there, even though they missed a wonderful opportunity.
Yeah, they can climb the mountain a different way.
Right. right. And this time though, I don't think you want to chance that. I think this is hot.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw her make it to the final of the tournament.
Yeah.
Maybe against Billy Starks or something.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I wouldn't be surprised if she went over Billy. It's too obvious that Billy gets this title.
It feels very obvious, and that makes me wonder if it's even gonna happen.
Because I think Billy's the world title challenger.
Yeah, she eventually needs to dethrone Athena. It's what it feels like.
And do we know who is going to be facing Athena at the pay-per-view?
Not yet, but that does bring us to the other thing we saw in Ring of Honor last week, which was a women's title match between Athena and Nyla Rose in a 2 out of 3 falls table match. And it was just mind-blowing with the things they did. Like, Athena hitting an O face from the inside of the ring to Nyla on the apron and her falling back through a table. Like, that match was just insane.
The level of, the level of,
the execution like was next level.
It was next level. And we find ourselves saying this a lot with Athena.
Especially in title matches.
Yeah. She comes, man. She comes to the dance. She really does. She brings it. And it's, that was a great match. Like, if you don't have the Ring of Honor, you need to get it. You really need to get Honor Club. You need to go back and watch. We've said it before. I can't say it enough. I'm not paid by Ring of Honor, but go get it and watch the Athena matches and watch certain segments that are just hilarious.
Yeah.
But,
this was like a special episode because it was number 52. It's like the 1 year anniversary of Ring of Honor on Honor Club.
You got me wanting to watch Ring of Honor right now. So,
well, we will definitely be watching some Ring of Honor very soon to see how this continues to pan out. This was, I think, the closest Athena has actually come to losing this title. Like, Nyla had her there.
And it was good because it showed Athena being vulnerable.
Yes, very much underdog in this match.
We've not really got to see her. I don't remember seeing her vulnerable at all, really.
No, there was no like dancing, no cheering, no being
I'm talking
silly.
about up to this point.
Yeah. No.
Against anyone.
No. She just always been very confident and like sure she's gonna win the belt back.
It took a year.
No big deal, but I think she's starting to realize there's bigger fish out there that are gonna start coming for her.
Right.
Which leads us to Super Card of Honor, which was announced for April 5th in Philadelphia, and she doesn't have an opponent yet.
Wait, Super Card of Honor in Philadelphia?
Yes, on April 5th.
Who's gonna be there covering it live? Roger?
I think we're gonna be there.
Oh, are we gonna be
Super
there?
Card of Honor? Yeah, live.
Are we gonna be there on camera side?
Yeah. Like 3 rows back, you can see us there, like cheering for all our favorite women.
Yeah, we'll be holding up our W's.
Well, we're gonna be there in Philadelphia for Stardom anyway, so why not? Go to Super Card of Honor at the same time?
If you're also going to be in Philly for Mania weekend, give us a shout. Get on our socials. Let us know. Let's hook up and freaking talk about women's wrestling. So
support the crap out of women's
whether
wrestling.
you're going to go to any of the events, there's so much fun.
There's so many things going on.
We're looking forward to being there that whole weekend and just enjoying it and having a lot of fun, man. Supporting all our favorites.
Yes, I cannot wait. So as far as that side of things, when we look at AEW, there's been some really fun women's action going on. Of course, all of it's building to the women's title match at Revolution this weekend, which we will talk more about because we are going to be doing a full preview of Revolution. If you just hang on a few minutes at the end of this show.
Absolutely.
Where you're going to get to hear a full breakdown of the full card.
Yeah, and because it's not sanctioned by Wrestling Is Her, we are going to do a lights out edition and
lights out preview.
Yeah, every now and then we'll have a lights out thing where we have to talk about those dirty old guys.
The men.
Yeah, stupid men. And so when we talk about the stupid men,
yes,
we have to do the traditional, not some idiotic actually turning the lights out. we're going to symbolically turn the lights off, and you just got to trust us, right? You got to trust us.
Use your imagination.
And we'll turn the lights out. We'll give you 10 seconds. We'll turn it back on, and it'll be unsanctioned.
Yes.
It'll be unbridled. Yes. It'll be unleashed.
It is not supported by the official Wrestling Is Her brand.
That's right.
It's got other things other than women on it.
It does. It does.
Just bear that in mind before you listen.
Yes.
But as far as the fun storylines in AEW, they've been continuing this whole thing with Chris and Willow and Stokely. Of course, Julia and Julia and Sky have started to come back into the picture. Where Willow beat Sky Blue using Stokely's interference.
Right.
And then this past week, Chris Statlander faced Sky Blue because she was understandably upset about losing that match to Willow. And Stokely tried and failed to help Chris Statlander win in a not so subtle way, yes. Yeah. And Sky Blue ended up getting the interference help from Julia to beat Chris Statlander.
And some of the really cool things on this that I really, really like is the production changes that we've seen this year, really, with AEW. And, New Japan always had one of those amazing abilities to catch moments.
Absolutely.
Where you've got the guy in the ring who looks up and then somebody landed on their feet behind him, and you get both, like the realization and everything.
Yes. Catching those facials is just so magical.
Oh yeah, it is. Cause that's wrestling.
Yeah.
And this match had a couple of those moments that really stood out to me.
Oh God.
That you're thinking of it now, right?
Just the Stokely over there, like unfurling the chain with that big smile on his face.
Yeah.
And Willow looking at him so disappointed.
And it wasn't like a dollar store little chain.
No. No.
It was like a damn, logging chain or something. Like it was a bigger chain. And
he was happy about himself.
Just his face, his eyes, his smile, like, look what I've got.
Chris was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And Willow was like, really?
Yeah, and then Willow and Stoke afterwards, the facial, it was...
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Like, Stokely knew he messed up, and Willow was just giving him that, like, pout. Like, really? We talked about
catching both of those. It was perfect.
So beautiful.
It was perfect. It's a great... It's a story that I didn't really know exactly... I mean, I knew where they were going, but not how they were getting there, And
absolutely.
I think we're very close. The thing that's up in the air, really, is which one of them turns.
Yeah. It seems like it's kind of going, like, who's going to end up going Stokely's way?
Right.
Or if they're going to force Stokely out. Like, they've given him a couple of chances, but he...
either that or he is with somebody that, he's with the other girls.
Right. I could see them doing this tag match that it seems like they're building up to, and one of them actually taking the help to beat Sky and Julia.
Yeah.
In the tag match. Maybe we'll see that at Revolution. I kind of hope we do.
Yeah, we may have.
And another story that's just good fun, of course, is Saraya and Harley's continued shenanigans while Ruby Soho has officially started dating Angelo Parker.
Yes.
And it's all so cute, but Saraya introducing her brother and Harley just being crazy.
Oh, I love it.
It's all brilliant.
It is. It's some really fun stuff. It's comedy done right.
Yes.
Because, Harley's one of the most believable crazy people I've ever seen.
So good at it.
Probably too good at it,
Yeah, that's fair.
But I love their dynamic, and this is the best stuff they've done with Saraya since Saraya has been around.
Oh, yeah. This just feels naturally like who she's supposed to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Even putting her brother over like that. Like, she's very much that wait till my daddy gets here kind of girl.
Yeah.
And, so
wrestling royalty.
Oh, yeah. I dig it. It's she's much more likable like this.
Yeah.
Even as a heel. So I think that they maybe have a connection finally where we can do something, so
we're definitely
cool.
heading towards like Saraya versus Ruby, I think.
Yeah,
but just invested.
Yeah, just keep doing this, and I'm digging it. It's gonna be great.
Me too. So before we jump into all the fun Stardom stuff, there's a couple of things that I wanted to talk about, or a couple of people, of course, that have been announced for Windy City Riot.
Yes.
The New Japan show in Chicago on April 12th.
A couple of exciting people. It makes me want to drive there.
Yes. So we've learned that Stephanie Vakir from CMLL is going to be on Windy City Riot, as well as Azumi and Mina Shirakawa will both be there, which is so exciting. I love seeing the Stardom girls come over for the New Japan shows.
Yeah, it's super exciting because also for me, it's super exciting because of the date of the show.
Yes, because it's so soon after the April 4th show. So
that means for sure April 4th.
Yeah, people are probably definitely going to be there.
We've definitely got Azumi. We've got Shirakawa.
Yes. I hope Steph is there too. I'd be very happy about that.
She will be because she'll be the strong champion.
You think she's going to be Julia?
Yeah, I do.
Well, Julia doesn't feel that way.
Well, Julia don't have to feel that way, does she?
No, she doesn't. But as far as people on New Japan shows, we saw over the weekend on February 23rd, we got to see Mayu Iwatani versus Mina Shirakawa on New Beginning in Sapporo for the IWGP Women's Championship. And those two, this match is just like, it reinforces who Mayu Iwatani is, who we all know she is, and it shows the growth that Mina Shirakawa has had over the past year even.
Word. Preach it, sister.
It's incredible the way these two work together in this match
Yeah.
and how amazing the show is that they put on. Like, we always get nervous when we're on the big, like, men shows, you know?
Yeah, we feel like we're on it. And I'm telling you right now, Mayu Iwatani is Big Match John.
She really is.
She is Big Match John.
When she has a chance to step up and perform, she does not disappoint.
Never. She doesn't. She never disappoints me anyway.
No.
But Mayu Iwatani's on a different effing level.
She really is.
She is just that. She is her. She is everything.
She's the icon.
She is the icon. She's the main event. She is amazing. And if you're not on that train, tickets are going fast. So you need to grab on right now and hold tight, because I'm telling you, I don't care if she is in a wrestling ring or she's selling donuts. It's going to be the best damn time you've ever had. And I think that Mania weekend, that's going to have so many eyes.
Yeah.
That has to be considered super card level for them.
Probably.
Just because of the vision, just because of the eyes. And it's much like when they're on the New Japan shows. If you go back to Mayu Iwatani and, Sherry, my God.
That match was just mind-blowing.
That match was mind-blowing. That match was better the second time and even better the third time that I watched it. And I don't just go back by myself and watch those things often.
Right.
But this I have. And it's the same thing with this Shirakawa match.
Mina brought it to her.
I wasn't expecting it to be that good.
No.
I was expecting it to be good.
Right.
Not that good.
Yeah, because, we recently saw in the past couple months, we got to see Mina take on Shiri, but it was in a UWF rules match. So being able to see her in this big position in a singles match against someone the caliber of Mayu Iwatani and deliver in the way that she did is really exciting.
Yeah, it is. And Shirakawa is, as they spoke about on the broadcast, training at the Snake Pit, the legendary Snake Pit. So I think she's mixing in the mixed martial arts well.
She is, yes.
Some people don't mix it in right. They don't mix it in correctly. I think she's mixing it in, and it's making her fresh, man.
Yeah, she's got amazing submission. She knows how to get that knee disengaged. Her striking has become incredible. She left Mayu a mess after this match.
Anybody like storytelling? Does anybody like storytelling in wrestling? Yes, I know you do. And this one I'm sitting across from right now is the first one to point out in a match what the story is, to her credit. So if I'm getting lazy with it, I get to hear, she's targeting the leg. Look at that. Look, already. And so
right out of the gate.
Last night, Raja completely turned a normal match into something spectacular for me, because she started, not to jump the gun here, but there was a match that involved SLK, Starlight Kid, and Mina Shirakawa, and they were fighting it out to see who was going to get that leg.
They both have that submission.
And it was so cool because, Raja points it out early, and it's just so noticeable. And that's one thing I love about Shirakawa. That's the point I'm getting around to here, is that go watch any match from the last few months, and you're going to see her really go to target that body part.
Yes.
And it's got to a point now that the girls are, noticing that and making sure, hey,
don't touch my leg.
Yeah, don't let her get the knee, bro.
Yeah.
Don't. And she actually is pulling out some cool stuff, like reverse upside down figure four, that was still believable to me. A lot of times people will put on something leg and they're just like, oh, I got this stretch on, and it's terrible, horrible. But she actually did. I thought she was like doing an Indian deathlock, but
we were like, whoa.
It wasn't, So anyway, yeah, it's go out of your way to see the match. If you haven't seen Mayu versus Mina,
it's worth it.
Go out of your way to see it.
And before we talk about what's coming up, the very exciting things that are coming up, we also should mention that there was an official statement released in Tokyo Sports about Julia's departure from Stardom. So they've made that 100% official that she is leaving, which we all knew already.
Yeah,
but
the way it was written, did it not come off to you like Japanese people hadn't been informed? Like,
yeah, like maybe some people, like they didn't
it
think
even said in the
people
article,
were in the know.
God knows I was doing Google Translate, so you never know. But it was almost written that way, like, you know.
Like, this is it. She's like, ta-da, right. Surprise.
Right. And I'm sure that they knew, but it was cool. And Julia's, you know, making our heart hurt because her look gets better and better and better.
She just looks cooler and cooler every time we see her.
But, you know, all the best, right? It's not like we're not going to see all the girls that leave.
Yeah.
It just gives us more to watch.
And honestly, this run that she's having right now as she exits, where she's teaming with Suzu and May and Mai Sakurai, and just seems like she's having the time of her life.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Just having these silly, fun, amazing matches with her friends.
And honestly, unpopular opinion time. Wait. Unpopular opinion. I really am digging the booking right now.
Yeah, me too.
I am
the structuring of cards and stuff.
I'm digging the house shows. We just watched a house show from the 25th, and it had the multiple cams. It had a amazing like story throughout the show.
Yeah,
and you know it was awesome. It was really awesome.
It was so good.
You know, different camera angles, and I just really I've enjoyed. It's not been the same old thing. It's like you watch these things and stuff is happening on the house shows that matter. Imagine that.
Imagine they're doing storylines on the house shows.
So I've really been enjoying it, man.
Me too. And of course, this is all leading up to the next big event in Stardom, which is the Cinderella Tournament.
Yes.
Of 2024. That starts in a matter of like a little over a week on March 9th. We have the first night. So now we have the full list of competitors. We have the bracket. Well, we have all the matchups for night one.
Instead of just listing all that.
Yeah.
I hate shooting stuff on you. No. I really do. I hate shooting stuff on you, but you know what? The match is getting ready to start, and look, there's my leg. Ding, ding, ding. I'm throwing my leg out. You could try a single leg if you want, but so
it depends what it is.
so down here, hold on. Let me look for something. One second here. I apologize. I know we're live to tape here, so I'm looking. I got it around here somewhere. Oh, okay. Thank you, thing. And so I have a Cinderella 2024 bracket.
Oh, hey.
And it just so happens to be, listen, I'm just going to hook you up here. It happens to be filled out correctly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 100% all the way to the end. It's not a spoiler. It's a result.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I have one of those too.
What?
Isn't that weird?
You've got a bracket, huh?
I've got a bracket, and it's all filled out like how it's going to happen.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, do you want to talk about this first or talk about the extra matches that are happening on night one before we jump into the tournament?
Yeah, let's... you don't have to hide it from me like that. I can,
no peeking.
All right. Well, let's talk about the extra matches then.
Okay, so on March 9th, along with the entire first round of the tournament, we are going to see all 8 people that have a bye are going to be in one match, all against each other. It's like a scramble.
Right.
So that's Ami Sourei, Suzu Suzuki, Mai Sakurai, Mei Seira, Mirai, Azumi, Hazuki, and Waka Tsukiyama.
Makes it fair because that gives them a match.
Yes, just all against each other.
It's amazing too.
And then we're going to see Julia, Shiri, and Konami team up against Stephanie Vicur, Momo Watanabe, and Fukigen Death.
Wait a second. So read the teams again.
Julia, Shiri, and Konami.
What year is this?
2024.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's like just a death squad, honestly.
Yeah, that
how do you even?
That is the death squad.
Versus Stephanie Vicur, Momo Watanabe, and Fukigen Death.
Listen, man. It's like they threw Fukigen Death in there just to make it not the most awesome match of all time.
They were like, we gotta do something to calm this down.
There is not bigger fans of Fukigen Death than us.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that.
Freaking love Fuki and
Yeah,
Death.
me too.
We do the this is Fuki and Death and everything.
The whole time we love her. But also, we know what we're getting when we get that match.
Yes, probably an O'Connor roll.
Exactly. But this match, holy crap.
I'm almost scared for Fuki and Death to be in this match.
Just imagine if instead of her, there was you was in the match.
Oh, no.
That
God.
It becomes a murder fest.
You put Nanai Takahashi in there and everyone is just killing each other.
I mean, that's a nutty match, dude.
It really is.
I like having a Konami background.
And of course, it's a prelude for the next night when Julia will be facing Stephanie Vaquer for the NJPW Strong.
When she'll be losing the NJPW Strong Championship.
She did come out with a statement talking about how she wants to hang on to the belt until she can face Mercedes Moné for it, because she believes that that has to happen. But
the belt was created for Mercedes.
Of course. Yes, we all know.
But is there a possibility of that happening?
It's hard to say. I mean, Julia's around till the end of March, and Mercedes is making her debut in the middle of March, presumably in Boston.
Can I just put my 2 cents in here? I don't want that match to happen for many reasons.
It feels messy.
It feels messy because of Mercedes' relationship with AEW.
Mm-hmm.
She's the big boss money of AEW.
Yes.
And a lot of investment there. So putting her against somebody leaving the company that has a relationship with AEW against the girl who is leading that charge,
right,
to go to a new company that's going to have a relationship with the E.
Feels weird.
I don't like it. It feels very Spider Lady to me.
Right. And there's a chance that Julia said that in hopes that the fan reaction of, yes, we want that match, would spur Bushiroad to push for that.
Yeah.
Perhaps. But as far as people carrying that belt, I think Stephanie Vaquer is a fantastic option for your champion.
Yeah, and I think that Stephanie Vaquer is just going to win. So
I would not be upset about that.
That's all that matters.
On the 9th, we're also going to see a Future of Stardom Championship match where Rena is going to take on Miran from Diana.
Wow.
So this is coming off the heels of the match she just had with Miyu Amasaki.
DDT Fest.
And she's going for that defense record of 10 matches. She's currently at 6, so she needs 4 more defenses. And I guess she's just going to try to bang them out real quick.
So is she going to, one of those wins is going to be against Tina.
Yeah, she kind of called her out. She was like, yeah, you come back when you're ready. And
so, and then, of course, we know what the final match will be.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, so we'll see.
We're going to see Natsupoi make her triumphant return to the Stardom ring.
Hi, boy!
When she teams with Sariano against Sari and Chihiro Hashimoto.
Yes,
which is just exciting all around.
It is. Sariano, and Poi know them very well. So this is going to be a really cool match.
They're gonna turn it up. Yeah, I think.
Dude, it's gonna be great. Poi's been working with the young girls, and I think this is going to be awesome. I really do. And Sariano seemed happier than I've ever seen her recently.
Yeah, she's in a great mood. She's happy to have Tam back. Natsupoi's coming back.
She's freaking been smiling, and that's weird.
They've got Sayaka on the team. It's great.
Almost creeps me out a little, but
it's like stop that.
Yeah, you're beautiful sad girl.
Yes. And the final non-tournament match on the 9th will be a 3-way tag team match where our tag team champions, Utami Hayashishita and Saya Kamitani, will take on Maika and Mina Shirakawa and Mayu Iwatani and Tam Nakano.
Dude.
Which is just every single, all the top stars all in one match.
Dude. That team. Jesus. Oh my God.
Yeah. Mayu and Tam, they got that history from stars. It's a lot to unpack, but
it really is. But the way they both have the facials, that match is cool.
It's so cool.
What are we doing making cool matches and fun matches? I thought we were dead. I thought somebody put a fork in them already. Listen, this is fun stuff.
It is. Can you imagine if Mayu and Tam get the win over the tag team champions and they get a tag team title shot?
No, it's great. It's great, and it's there's a lot of fun happening, and I love when we can bury all the BS. And because it seems like the girls have, for the most part. I mean,
they're all just enjoying themselves.
It's felt very light, man. It's felt very good. It's kind of like AEW, right? It's like it's felt like people having fun and just wrestling.
Yeah.
And so you can throw away your bracket, and we'll get to this bracket of mine, because I just I don't want to make you feel weird. Mine's correct.
I already feel weird about it because I don't like picking people over other people at all. Like I hate doing brackets.
Well, I enjoy it
because it's not that I don't want to it's not that I'm afraid of being wrong. It just makes me feel bad when I pick winners.
Well,
when I love everyone.
You should probably book in WWE.
Yes.
Keep everybody strong, baby.
Oh man, it hurts my heart. But
do you want me to start then, or are you going to start?
It's
your show. You start.
Let's go over these first round matches. Okay, there's 8 first round matches that we'll see on the 9th. Starting with Hanako versus Hanan.
Yeah.
I picked Hanan to win that match.
Okay. Well, I mean, was there a reason, or?
Because she's on a roll. She's like shooting straight for the stars right now.
Yeah.
And I think Hanan versus Mirai in the second round would be ridiculous.
Wish you happy, girls so slappy. Boys are sunshine all day long. I don't know what it says. Does anybody know what the words to Hanan's theme song is?
Please tell us.
Please let us know. And here's a word to the wise. You can't Google it.
No.
I mean, you can, but you're not going to get a result.
And just so you know, with this bracket, everyone who wins one of these first 8 matches is going to be facing someone from that bye round.
From the bye round.
Yes.
Bye.
In the second round.
So with Hanako, Hanako has been on an incredible roll herself.
She has.
And the role has been making herself beast mode.
Oh, gosh.
Anybody who tunes into Hanako or tunes into Stardom now, so some kids just finding it and they turn it on and they're like, oh my God, I love the really tall girl who gets up on the ring and shoots fire out of her lungs. And, just she's awesome. And I love this for Hanako because this goes from the little, big, from the 6 foot tall girl coming down, the young girl, the rookie, the trainee, coming down all summer last summer and hunched over.
Yes, very timid.
Not sure of herself and making the little, hi, here's my flower. It's so different than what it is now, which is confidence and I'm the heater and I'm Big Daddy Cool and, I love it. But with that said, Hanan's going to totally take this match.
We love you, Hanako, but this is the Cinderella, and if only one of you can win.
Hey, Hanan said it best.
Hanan.
There's only one of us that looks like Cinderella.
She does. She does look the most like Cinderella in this whole entire roster.
Right.
So, Starlight Kid versus Yuzuki. Starlight Kid's going to win that match.
Yeah. Obviously, right? Because if SOK loses that, we riot.
Right, yeah. If she loses to Yuzuki...
Now, I'll let you know. There's been some crazy losses lately.
There have been.
There's been some unexpected stuff, and maybe a couple months from now it makes sense.
Yeah, but right now.
Right now it doesn't.
Starlight vowed. She vowed to make this her year, okay?
Right. Well, so I agree. SOK over Yuzuki. Fun match, quick match.
Yes, absolutely. The next first round match we have is Xena versus Momo Kogo. I have Xena winning this match because of EXV's current status on the roster. So they're doing great things.
I have Xena also winning this because of her chops.
Her chops are so good.
They're
so loud.
Legendary freaking chops.
She might cave in Momo Kogo's chest.
Yeah,
if she chops her.
She's Momo Kogo. She has very, very good chops.
Yes. Koguma versus Ruaka, which is just a fun match to think about.
So, who do you have in this?
I see Koguma winning this match.
Yeah.
And not only if, because she will be facing Hazuki in the second round.
Yeah, so I've got a way to spoil it.
Hazuki has a bye.
I know. I've got Kuma.
Yes.
As well. And so I think that we get some big bear love.
Oh, yes. And Ruaka has been stepping it up. But,
she has.
I mean, we said, this is the Cinderella.
But Kuma just scored a huge, huge pinfall victory.
She did, yes, which was surprising. It was a crazy match.
It was. I mean, she just pinned Mirai.
Yeah, Mirai was not happy about.
She was not happy about that. But, I mean, you don't come off a win like that and then lose to Raka.
Yeah, that's fair. So next we have Saki Kashima versus Saya Ida. And I struggled with this one a lot.
I know you did.
But I ended up going with Saya Ida.
Yeah.
Because I feel like she's just got it right now.
Yeah, I know. But unfortunately, you're wrong.
I struggled a lot with it, okay? Like, I was like, oh, Saki could totally win this match.
So Saki's going to roll her up. And
she's going to hit that Kisei.
Yeah, she is. She is. She's going to get her butt beat through the whole match.
Yeah.
And then she's going to win.
You're probably right about that, but I'm still going to stick with Saida. This one's more of a heart pick for me.
Well, she wins.
I love Saki too. But
she wins because of the excitement of the next round.
Yeah, that was another factor that played in. And I was like, oh, that would be so cool to revisit. But I don't know. I'm still going to stick with Saida.
Okay.
Yuna Mizumori versus Lady C. I chose Lady C in this match.
I chose self-mutilation. But
it's a lot.
Afterwards, I took Yuna.
Okay, so this little branch of the bracket we're totally different on.
Yeah.
I chose Lady C. A lot to do with her next round opponent, but Yuna wouldn't surprise me if she won this match because it's Yuna Mizumori. I mean, she's a great worker and she's Cosmic Angel and she can do anything.
Yeah, I funny enough, I took Yuna because of the next round opponent.
So the next first round match, Sayaka Kurara versus Natsuka Tora.
Yeah, it's Tora or death.
Like, I don't know how Tora would react if she lost to Sayaka Kurara.
No,
she might get hit with a spear, but I don't think she's going down for the count.
It's definitely Tora's win, her only win in this tournament.
Yes. And the last first round match is Miyu Amasaki versus Rana Yagami.
As much as I would love to look at you with a straight face
and say Rana's going to win.
And say Rana's going to win because Rana should win this. Like, it should go to the person who doesn't hit 4 or 5 DDTs. And when they say, hey, do you have a high spot? It's a super DDT.
Right.
If it went to the other person. But listen, Miyu Amasaki has really come a long way.
Yes.
With everything except her ring jacket.
It was interesting.
It had loofahs.
It was a choice.
There was loofahs. So, but Miyu Yamasaki definitely has come a long way. We love to love Kevin, so we're going to take Kevin.
We're going to take Miyu Yamasaki, yes. Yeah. So, all but 2 we're aligned on there.
Yeah, the 2 you were wrong about.
Yeah. Yes,
it's crazy.
Probably. I'm honestly like, I could see that. So, as for round 2, Hanan versus Mirai.
Yeah, so...
I took Hanan in this match because I just feel like it's her year. And I feel like it would be interesting to have Mirai kind of going on that losing streak. After the reaction she had the other night to losing to Koguma, I think it would be interesting to see her go down that rabbit hole.
So, poor Mirai. Poor Mirai. You love Mirai.
I do. I absolutely adore Mirai.
So she goes from having... being last year's winner.
Yes, and the Wonder of Stardom champion.
Yeah, the last year's winner of the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
The Wonder of Stardom champion, tag champion, 6-man champion.
Yes, current artist of Stardom champion.
Yeah, so she's got all this in the past 12 months.
Yes.
And you have the cojones
to say she's going to lose her first match in the tournament?
To a not a young girl, but it's not, it's kind of like a young girl.
Yes.
I mean,
I do have Hanan winning this match.
So do I.
I knew you would.
I think it makes sense.
It really does.
It makes sense. Hanan's on a hell of a roll. I think Hanan is someone you build a company around. Mm-hmm. I think she's a primetime player. And, she's got the size, she's got the ability, she's got the chops, man.
She does.
Good promos, and she's confident. She's a locker room leader to be.
Yes.
So, yeah, Hanan.
So, Starlight Kid versus Suzu Suzuki. My word. My goodness.
What a match.
This is difficult.
What a match.
When they faced in the 5-star, Suzu got the win. Starlight Kid did not have a good 5-star Grand Prix, okay? No. That being said, I believe in the movement of Starlight Kid, and I think she's going to pull out the win in this match.
I agree.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, SOK is going to win.
Okay, so Waka Tsukiyama versus Xena. Little EXV versus EXV action.
I think we're going to chop some more.
Yes, Xena's going to win this match, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Koguma versus Hazuki.
So tell them why this is crazy.
I mean, these two make up FWC.
Yeah.
They're a tag team, a well-established tag team and best friends.
So you can go back in time and see them.
Yes.
As best friends.
Yeah.
All the way to the beginning.
As little girls.
Yeah, all the way to the beginning. But, I really see Hazuki winning this.
Yeah, I picked Hazuki to win this match. I think it's going to be emotional and difficult for both of them to pull out a win, but I think
Hazuki goes home and goes to Edo Tai in this match.
She just turns on Koguma.
Yeah.
Next match, Mei Seira, and in my case, versus Saida. So I have Mei Seira moving to the next round.
So we're back together.
Okay.
And we've aligned.
See, this is why my Saida pick didn't really matter that much.
Well,
I think Mei Seira would have won regardless.
I think Mei Seira versus Saki is just a fun high-speed match.
It's interesting. It calls back to their past matches in the high-speed division.
So, but I do have Mei Seira winning.
Lady Sieve, in my case, versus Amisori, the battle of the two towers. I have Amisori going to the next round.
Again, it cancels out. It doesn't matter now because I got Sora Amy winning.
Yes. Azumi versus Natsukatora. I actually have Natsukatora going to the next round in this one.
So I don't, and there's many reasons why, but Azumi takes it, and I think it's Azumi's time as well. Azumi hasn't really been Azumi for a while.
She hasn't.
Tora had a chance to really shine many, many times. I think that Azumi's speed will outlast Tora, and I think that honestly, they've got the same experience, but she's got what it takes in this kind of thing. I think that Azumi's going to take it.
That wouldn't surprise me at all. Miyu Amasaki versus Mai Sakurai. I have Mai Sakurai moving on.
Yeah, it's the death of Kevin. And so
dun, dun, dun.
Mai Sakurai is, she's been a lot, again, she's talking about improvement.
Yes.
She's another one who's really got some good, skills that have been developing and getting a lot better. I harken back to that tag match. That was just mind-blowing.
Right.
And it was so great, but Mai Sakurai absolutely goes to the next round.
Okay, so because I feel like we're going to veer off each other a lot coming up, let me just tell you how I have my semi-quarter and finals, okay?
Okay.
This is what I believe is going to happen. Hanan versus Starlight Kid. Hanan pulls out the win.
Mm-hmm.
Xena versus Hazuki. I have Xena winning. And I scribbled this out multiple times, going back and forth. But I think Xena, she went really far in the Cinderella last year. And as the EXV sort of person, for the faction, I think she's going to make it this far. Mei Seira versus Amisori. I have Amisori with the win. And then Natsukatora versus Mai Sakurai. I have Natsukatora moving on.
Right.
In the semifinals, Hanan versus Xena. I have Hanan winning. Amisori versus Natsukatora. I have Amisori winning. So in my final, we get back to the Hanan versus Amisori story where Amisori's been searching to get that pinfall back over Hanan that she didn't have for a long time. But I still have Hanan winning the 2024 awesome. Cinderella.
And that would be great. I love the booking. I love the fact of coming around there and having a reason why we get to that final.
Right.
It's just that it's
it's totally off.
Yeah, it's totally wrong, and it's crap booking.
I understand.
No, I'm just playing.
I understand.
It actually is really solid booking. I think it would be a lot of fun, and everybody deserves it. So
it was so difficult.
I like it.
I went a couple different ways, but this is what I landed on.
So in my so we're going from the Hanan SLK match?
Yes.
Okay. So in my Hanan SLK match, other than it being an amazing match.
Oh, God.
It's going to be so good. But SLK is going to totally take out Hanan because Hanan has been doing great, but she is at the she's at the beginning of that.
Right.
And she very much in Japanese wrestling, you build your career.
Yes.
And you build your wins, and it's all about strong. It's all about struggle and getting stronger. Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily about just chomping it down right off the bat.
No.
So Hanan and SLK is going to end with SLK totally winning it.
Ending her tournament.
Yeah, I think that it's going to harken back to a injury that Hanan suffers, with her leg possibly against Mirai.
So that she later down the line, SLK can take advantage.
Yeah. So I think there'll be something like that.
Right.
There'll be a reason, but SLK wins. Then Xena and Hazuki. Xena's not got. I mean, she's going to have a great showing, but it's another thing where we got to get our main girls that were buried.
Yeah.
Back up there. And Hazuki is one of those that is the fans love. Like, what's going to sell tickets, right?
Right.
And if you're trying to sell tickets and you're trying to get that love and that heart, that was a lot of my thought in this. So Hazuki goes over that. And then next, Mei Seira and Ami Sourei. On this one, I think that you go with what you have to consider somewhat of an upset, kind of, but not really. But Mei Seira is going to take it from Ami Sourei.
I knew we were going to be totally different.
And there's reasonings. And then Azumi and Mai Sakurai, you're going to have Azumi take that. And again, it's just getting back to some of the core players.
Right.
So that gives us a hell of a Final Four.
Yes, your Final Four is quite the big Final Four.
It's something that I think you want to start the year off right. You want to have people remember this and harken back. Hey, remember that Cinderella 24? So we get down to a real Final Four, man. You got SLK versus Hazuki. This harkens back to Kirk and Hall. This harkens back to so much stuff.
Yeah.
They've already been alluding to it some.
A little.
With that. So I think that played into it a little bit. SLK and Hazuki is going to be amazing. It's going to be a fight. It's going to go down to almost a wire.
Oh, yeah.
SLK is going to pull it out this time where she didn't last time.
Okay.
And that shows that this year,
right.
And because they had that huge battle and it was just another one of those, moments.
Right.
So Mei Seira and Azumi. Mei Seira has done great, man. She really has. But there's a couple of reasons on this one. We talked about Mei Seira versus Azumi.
Because, I mean, Azumi's mentioned that she'll face Mei Seira when she beats her defense record for the high-speed title.
That's what she said. But we have a tournament and she doesn't have a choice.
Right.
So they have alluded to this match.
And it's not for the title.
It's not yet. But now we have a reason for Azumi to have to go and have that match.
Right.
So she's going to beat Mei Seira here.
Okay.
And get a future title shot.
All right.
And that plays into a story we've already been doing once again.
Right.
So then that puts the match, the eternal foes.
Yes.
That are, for a reason, on opposite sides of this thing.
They are indeed.
So SLK versus Azumi, you have the eternal foes reunited, and we've played off this so many times, right?
Right.
But this gets people excited. This gets people,
tuning in.
They have headline pay-per-views with this match.
Right.
And they're going to do it again because SLK versus Azumi, and it's a knockdown, drag out, Bob's your uncle, until SLK solidifies her year as she wins the Cinderella and she is back full blown SLK. Starlight Kid, Cinderella 2024. Take it to the bank. Call the sports books right now. Get them to start carrying Stardom and then put all your money. Get grandma's money, steal your sister's money. Put it all on SLK, baby, because she's got the eye of the tiger.
You're right. I like yours better. I hope it ends up like that. That sounds exciting as hell.
It's very exciting.
It's like it turns into like the high-speed tournament all of a sudden.
It does turn into a high-speed tournament, but it turns, I just love the stories.
Yeah.
And when I was doing it, I was like, oh, God, we talked about this.
There's like multi-level stories in there.
Yeah, it's multifaceted.
You definitely have an eye for the future better than I do.
But no, you had some really good stories in, though.
I think I over-logic myself when I'm trying to pick picks. I just have to go with the passion.
Not really. Your stories made total sense. Mm-hmm. They really did. Yours made total sense. Mine was coming from a promoter mind, like
what's gonna sell the tickets?
What would sell? Like if people heard about this and there was a buzz,
yeah,
what would make people want to see the next show?
Yeah.
And
considering the final, like, SLK Izumi would be the main event, which is where it always should be.
Yeah. I think that getting to that main event was that's where I was heading. Like, what is that main event?
Right. You got to work backwards sometimes.
So when we look at the posters, and we look at the results, people go and like get Stardom World after this just to see that match.
Yeah. I would. I mean, you would talk about that match for years and years to come. So the first round of this tournament begins on March 9th. The second round kicks off on the 10th. The very next night, there will be 4 second round matches. And then on March 16th will be the rest of the second round matches, and we'll go on from there. A couple other things that are happening. We already mentioned Julia will be facing Stephanie Vicure on March 10th for the NJPW Strong Women's title. And Aya Sakura will make her return on March 10th at the Crocodile Show. She's been out of action since July of last year, so she's finally making her way back.
That's crazy. It's been a long time.
I'm just so excited for the Cinderella tournament. I cannot wait to see how it turns out. Yeah,
me too, man. I really am. Either way, it's going to be a lot of fun. This one seems like a lot of fun.
Absolutely. And of course, we're going to cover every round of it as it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And scream about it, probably.
Yeah, this one's going to be something to talk about. So
because when you put these girls against each other in singles tournament matches, like, it's just balls to the wall, okay?
Yeah, every time. And I still need to look up where balls to the wall began.
I say it too much.
We talked about that the other night, and it bothers me because everything has a story behind it, and I really want to know where balls to the wall came from. So, yeah, I agree. It's going to be great.
Yes, and that brings us to our lights out portion of the night.
Here we go. All right, you ready for this? Well, go ahead and tell them where to find us on socials and everything, because we're going to end the regular.
Oh, right. Of course. Yes. So if you want to find us on social media, we are on everything: Facebook, Instagram, X, at Wrestling Is Her, our favorite social media platforms to use. And we live tweet shows, and we put out our crazy happenings and pictures of us if we want to, just having a good time.
It's a happening, Gorilla.
So make sure you follow us so that you know when episodes are released and all the crazy stuff that's going on with women's wrestling. But that ends our regularly scheduled programming.
All right, we're going to do it. Here it comes. We're turning the light off now. All right, we should have rung a bell or something,
Ding.
So here we go. We're after the action right now. We're uncensored.
Yeah, this is no longer Wrestling Is Her right now.
Unsanctioned.
We're going to give you our full feedback predictions and what we think is going to happen for AEW Revolution this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to run through it. At bell time for us, there's probably still, Tony Khan, there's probably still 6 matches to be given.
Yeah.
So this is what we have as of now.
As of right this second.
We're just really excited about this show. It feels like a new era for AEW. It feels like a new era. I mean, even the guys are calling it a new era.
Absolutely.
And it feels, they were talking about that feeling being back.
Yeah.
I think that was the internal cry because I've heard too many of them say it. It's like, hey, I got that feeling again,
Absolutely.
And they've squeezed the poison out, and it feels like it's happy, it's good, it's positive. And, this damn show is going to have like 18,000 people in the Greensboro Coliseum. By God, I love it. I enjoy it every time. I've been there in Greensboro for AEW. It's just a cool feeling being there. I've been there for, freaking, Jim Crockett Promotions. I mean, so, it's awesome.
Yeah, and the absolute crazy build for this show and all the matches on it has been such a wild ride and so much fun since the beginning of the year.
Oh, absolutely.
So let's start with a match that we've seen before, but they're running back because of a time limit draw. FTR versus the Blackpool Combat Club.
Yeah.
Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli. So, these two teams do not like each other.
No. I mean, it's really been apparent on the shows, and I love how they've built this. The size difference is crazy.
It is.
Because you don't think about FTR being the smaller guys, but when they're standing there with, freaking Giant and his buddy there, it's crazy. And a good brawl,
oh God,
I love a good brawl, and arguably 3 of the 4 of these competitors are the best brawlers in pro wrestling.
Yeah.
And I mean brawlers. I'm not talking hardcore BS or anything. I'm talking Bruiser Brody, Terry Gordy, Stan Hansen, old school, All Japan, brawling. And that's what makes this one so hard to freaking call.
Yeah, because especially given how the first one ended, like it didn't seem like there was any going one way or the other like normal where that somebody almost wins.
And you got the pay-per-view element to this, but let me just say, I really believe that FTR takes this. FTR is the team, right?
They're the established tag team.
Yeah, they're the established tag team. And back in the day when you first had smaller tag teams come in, they coined a term, tag team specialist. And they did that because most of the guys, I mean, in the old days of wrestling, you had bigger and, the promoters, you wanted to have big guys that didn't look like the people out there. That was, and it was not normal to have, I mean, Memphis was a small guy territory, but there wasn't many of those out there. So they coined the tag team specialists for like the Midnight Express and the Fantastics and the Rock and Roll Express to explain it. Bill Watts actually did that to explain, why these smaller guys are whipping the ass of the bigger guys. And, and I love that. I've always loved the tag team specialists that, maybe one-on-one, these guys might not be able to beat the big 7-foot giant, but together they're specialized. They only concentrate on tag team. And I think that's where the difference comes in this match, even from a booking perspective, because Mox and Claudio may be buddies, but they're not night in, night out tag team partners. And yes, they're in the same group and all that, but FTR have done it from the womb, so to speak. But so I think that gives the nod to them for this one.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to have an all-star scramble match, 8-man all-star scramble, which was originally supposed to be the Meat Madness match, but a few injuries and whatnot have put that on hold.
Not glad about the injuries, but I'm glad that we don't have something called the Meat Madness match on this.
I think they're still going to do it. Tony said he's going to put it on ice until they're able to do it.
Just on this pay-per-view. I'm glad it's not.
Yeah, so the scramble so far has Chris Jericho versus Wardlow versus Powerhouse Hobbs versus Lance Archer versus Hook versus Brian Cage. And the final 2 people will be decided on Rampage. There's a qualifying match between Magnus and Matt Sydal. And then on Collision, there's a triple threat qualifying match between Penta, Brian Keith, and Dante Martin. All of which I want in the scramble. Like, they could have just all 3 been in, and I would have been fine.
So, I mean, this is hard, man. I mean, you don't really know which way it's going to go because of all this. No.
I'd say Matt Sydal probably has a pretty good chance in his match, unless Magnus is just sticking around for the scramble. Of course, I'd love to see Penta get that chance, but Dante's been doing crazy good things lately.
I agree.
And Brian Keith just came in, started swinging in AEW.
I would love to see Penta win the whole damn thing.
And get a title shot.
But he wasn't even figured in, really, was he, beforehand?
No.
Before the injuries?
No.
So if we look at that, who was originally scheduled?
Wardlow, Lance Archer, and Powerhouse Hobbs.
And who just did a big thing about being screwed over and they were going to kill everyone from now on, and they looked great doing it and gave the promo of their life.
Wardlow.
That's your winner.
There you go. You heard it here first. We will be seeing a spectacular special singles match between Will Ospreay and Konosuke Takeshita. Of course, Will Ospreay is All Elite officially now. He made his appearance on Dynamite. He got interrupted by the Don Callis family. I don't think that relationship is going to last very long. He didn't seem happy about it.
So I think that you want to establish Ospreay as the 5-star machine that he is, right off the bat, but you don't necessarily need him to win, right? Because he is going to be the babyface. We know that he's going to turn on Don. I mean, or Don's going to turn on him, right? So I think that we end it with that. I think we obviously end it with the interference and Will has to fight his way up against the Don Callis family. Right. That gives us cool matches with Hobbs. There's a lot of stuff that can happen there.
They got the weird dynamic with Kyle Fletcher being in the Don Callis family now.
The only other thing I would say on that is, what if we go the other way and Takeshita is the one that gets screwed over.
Oh my goodness. I hadn't even thought of that.
And there's a reason behind this. Takeshita gets screwed over. Don goes with Will. Will becomes the snotty bastard, bruv, that we've known him as
Right.
many times. So he starts out his career as staying as a heel. Really, he was popular already, but he's a heel, and he's kind of a tweener because he's so good. It's hard to hate the guy.
Exactly.
But Takeshita gets screwed. Takeshita's the baby in this, and good God, does he look like one?
He is, yes, absolutely.
But it gets us all the way through the summer until we get to All In when Kenny comes back.
Ooh.
Kenny, because Takeshita has the ties to Kota Ibushi.
He does, yes.
Kota Ibushi is fighting his ass off to be able to come back and actually look like Kota Ibushi again.
Yes.
So Kota and Kenny coming back to fight the Don Callis family. It's got the right odds on both sides, and then you get to All In Wembley Stadium, and you get to have that one more time. Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay.
I would love to see that.
And I mean, Jesus, you could have.
I'm always down for that.
You could
match.
have Takeshita teaming with Ibushi on the undercard.
Yeah.
And against Fletcher and Hobbs. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff there.
Yeah. Another thought I had while you were saying that, like just now, is what if Okada plays into it, where he was screwed by Will Ospreay in the past, and he comes in and is like a mentor to Konosuke Takeshita.
That would be something.
Yeah. There's so many possibilities.
That would be really something. Obviously they both can't coexist because they're two, legit alphas, right?
Yeah, they're too similar.
One of them's called the alpha. So I just feel that it might be cooler
if Will stays with Don.
Yeah. And that would
Don Callis has a way of pushing his star aside for the new bright shiny thing in the room.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't surprise me.
I just like the story. We know Kenny's going to come back eventually.
Yeah.
And it's ready made, dude.
There's so much good stuff coming. There's so much.
It's just ready made.
So TNT Championship match, Christian Cage versus Daniel Garcia.
Crazy.
Because of course Adam was injured. He can't be in the match at all.
I was really hoping to have Cope put a nail in it and win this, but I also am ready to see Edge and Christian team again. So I think that what we're going to see is Danny, doing some business and Edge interfering for Christian.
He's going to turn.
And because it's going to seem like Christian's, the patriarchy is going to, stack it up.
Right.
Edge comes out.
He's going to help Danny.
Yeah, but he doesn't. He throws the spear on Christian, looks at him like brother, and
he joins the family.
And we have the real patriarchy there.
Oh, no.
But Ed and Christian with one last run over the summer.
When we're going to Canada.
When we're going to Canada, and we're going to have vacated tag belts.
Oh, man. Oh, I know Daniel Garcia is not going to win the belt, but that's just even cooler than anything I could have thought about.
I don't know. I just thought because of the Canada tour, and if you really want to sell things out, you put one of the greatest tag teams of all time back together.
Put the belts on them.
As heels, when they can do their funny stuff, which some of their funniest stuff ever was the shticks making fun of people.
Right.
The 5-second pose, all this stuff. Putting that together, it's just different. You can have them both on the roster.
Yeah.
But having them both on the roster like this, and then in Canada going back to having the Hardys versus Edge and Christian.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, just the pop on that alone.
If anyone's listening, quick, write that down.
it just makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, it makes sense to me too now that you say it. Oh, Continental Crown Championship match. Eddie Kingston versus Bryan Danielson. We talked in length about this match the other night.
Absolutely, because it's amazing. Tell them.
It is. And you surmise that perhaps Eddie Kingston loses this match after all this amazing grandstanding he's had over the past year.
Right.
Become the people's champion, and he's so popular.
Yeah.
But he loses this match to Bryan Danielson. Danielson doesn't have to shake his hand. He still doesn't respect him. He takes that championship. He runs around with it. And Eddie's at the lowest he's ever been for a long time. And he has to fight his way back up to eventually meet that dragon once again and slay it.
Exactly. He's got to slay the dragon. And I think that's how we say goodbye to Bryan Danielson in the perfect way. We got to get Eddie to his Lost in Cleveland moment. And anybody who don't know, go look it up. Lost in Cleveland, Mick Foley. So I either that or go look up Jimmy Valiant 1986 when he lost everything and everybody turned on him and he went back with the street people. And they spent weeks trying to find him, and they finally found him on the streets,
right?
And with the bums, and he came back. It's a perfect story. Both of the things that this has in common is it's endearing characters that people loved and identified with.
Yeah,
Boogie Woogie Man and Cactus Jack. People just identified with them, right? Mm-hmm. It's everyman. Eddie Kingston is in that same category. People love Eddie whether he wins or loses. Mm-hmm. If we do this, we'd get a Danielson Ring of Honor title main event before he retires in a Ring of Honor pay-per-view. You know, we get a cool run. It doesn't have to be with the main belt, but I think that he doesn't just totally disrespect Eddie, that he actually does have a tinge of respect for him in this match.
Right.
Because Eddie beats the piss out of him.
Well, he will.
And Eddie doesn't give up. He does the thing. He passes the hell out. He don't give up. Mm-hmm. And that's got to put a little respect on the name. And, you know, yes, we keep fighting for it. And he's like, nah, man, look, you're at the bottom, dude. You're not. And Eddie doesn't give up. He keeps fighting, like you said. And he gets some great wins, and the win that boosts him to be able to face Danielson again will be beating his best friend Jon Moxley
once more.
And you know, so that would put him up there with that.
It's a beautiful story. It's like Eddie has to be like, well, maybe I am a bum. Well, maybe yeah, it's true.
And it should really end. And you know, the one thing you could do is have Mox be the one that goes and gets him. And pulls
goes
him,
and finds him.
Goes and finds him and pulls him up and put the animosity between them. It'd be a great way for Mox to go back, baby. But the big thing is, at the end, it's a matter of respect. It's Sabu Rob Van Dam. You got to get back to the point when finally that respect is there. Mm-hmm. And we could end Danielson's career great with him doing the honors for Eddie Kingston, of all people, in the final match. And giving that love to Eddie, and Eddie, you know, earning it, man, earning it. And I like it. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
It'll be interesting. I feel that it would behoove both of them for Eddie to lose this match. Like, I just feel like that's the natural order of things, but we'll see.
Right.
International Championship match, Orange Cassidy versus Roderick Strong. And this has been an ongoing story for the past 2 months.
This one's crazy.
It is.
I mean, this one's hard, man. This one's really crazy. Orange has a way of being dead.
Yeah. And
still being able to come back. But I think that the bigger story with this, I don't think the story has ever really been Orange and Roderick. Mm-hmm. I think the story's been Trent and Orange.
Yes.
I think that Trent is I think the best friends are just done.
They're imploding, I believe.
Absolutely. No matter what, I think that's ending soon. Does that mean Orange goes heel? No. Orange, I think, is a sting. I don't think you can ever do Orange as heel. Yeah, no. Trent's definitely been feeling more like the frustrated, like about to turn on his friends kind of guy. He's not getting anywhere. And Trent, to me, would seem kind of good in that faction. Yeah. He'd fit in. With the Undisputed Kingdom. Kind of looks like him. He does. You know? Put him all in black. He works. Put the right shirt on the guy. Kind of looks that way. I don't know what's going to happen. We can't have a turn on in every match. No. I know that. But I do think that if we do anything with Trent, that Roderick wins this match. Yeah. Otherwise, I think Orange pulls it out. But, you know, Roderick, man, he kind of has to... The Undisputed Kingdom's not had the best start.
No.
Some of that's because of Adam Cole's leg.
Yeah.
Some of that's because of MJ. The timing was terrible for them.
Mm-hmm.
So do you give
A lot
Roderick
against him.
Do you give Roderick that belt? Do you give him that win? And try to strengthen the entire team up? I don't know.
It's hard because in this case, I just don't feel like Orange Cassidy's done like with this run, which is wild to say considering how long his first run was and how long he's been going on this one already. But I don't know. It just feels right to have him in that position.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun having Orange just have that belt and defend it.
I know he can't keep it forever.
I agree. It's funny. My fantasy booking is I keep wanting to see Mike Bailey. Like,
oh God, please.
I keep wanting to see Mike Bailey. I want to see an open challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had this fantasy booking in my head for months.
Right.
Where, I talked about having somebody right off the bat win something.
Right.
I would love for an open challenge to end where you 2-3 weeks you have top indie guys come out there and it's like, hey, it's the open challenge. He's doing the open challenge. And then you have like Mike Bailey and he just wins it.
Just immediately and just starts running around with it.
And so we could have like Mike Bailey and Osprey. We could have,
man.
we could have something. I'm just saying that's fantasy booking, right?
We are going to be in Canada.
On this one, I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't. It's hard to pick a winner. I think this is one of those. I say even money.
Yeah. AEW Women's World Championship, Timeless Toni Storm versus the Virtuosa Deonna Purrazzo. These two obviously are very good friends, and it's incredibly difficult to say which way this is gonna go because Toni she's had the title for a little bit, but she's still she's right there at the peak of this whole Timeless Toni Storm thing. And I don't know if this is going to be a deal where part of the old Toni breaks through in this match because of who she's facing and the connection she has with Deonna and the matches they've had in the past, or if she's maybe just going to keep up this Timeless thing and it's going to make her lose because Deonna is like, you're not taking this seriously and just beats her, or if we're going to see some kind of interference from Mariah, or I have no idea. But I don't know. I don't know if Tony's going to lose the belt yet.
I think that you're right. I think that in the match, something breaks through.
Yeah.
And I think that Toni Storm remembers that she's Toni Storm during this match because of somewhat of an injury or something with Deonna.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Mariah slaps Toni and reminds her who she is, and Toni snaps back into it. And because of that moment, I think Toni wins. But it starts that change of that dynamic of who's leading who,
right?
And really gets us to what the end game's going to be, which is Mariah May versus Toni Storm, with Mariah May being the total heel on this. I think that she's not as much of a victim as what we perceive her as,
right? Or as stupid as she's acting.
yeah. I think that she is one of those things, like she wants her idol to be the damn idol. She wants to see, Toni be vicious and Toni be ruthless, and
the Toni she knows from Stardom.
Right. And so if she sees that break a little bit, number one, she can be jealous because that, hey, they got match of tattoos. I love Toni.
Yeah.
The hell with that.
Right.
And, I think that we could see that break through and Mariah pull her back, but that's a crink. That's a little chink in the armor.
Right. And it starts this little build of like,
very subtle.
Who is Toni Storm, really?
You go months after that.
Right.
But, just a little chink. And Deonna can go on to a million things.
Oh, yeah. Like, she can have so many good matches.
She can have a great match with Mariah after that.
Yeah. And this so far is the only women's match on the card. And there's so much else that I'd love to see. But I can't help but wonder if maybe there's going to be a return of somebody during this pay-per-view. There hasn't been any hints or anything. Like, I don't know if Britt's ready to come back, or Jamie, or anyone or Megan's gonna show up. I'm just fantasy booking in my mind. Like, I'd love to see something crazy happen.
I would too. I would love to see something, even a battle royal with the women.
That would be so fun.
Where we had the Joker, and the Joker could be, like Jamie Hayter or Britt Baker.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Or
future shot at the title sort of deal.
Or we get Megan. Yeah. I mean, it'd be amazing. The future shot at any of the women's titles.
Right.
And so I'm with you. There needs to be another women's match.
Yes.
It's too much good out there not to.
Mm-hmm. So many stories that you could capitalize on.
I think we're definitely going to get the Julia.
The tag match, yeah.
We're going to get that. It's going to be, there's an hour and a half of 0 Hour.
Yeah, so we got to have something.
There's going to be 4 matches on 0 Hour.
Yeah.
And we don't know any of those yet.
So it's going to be fun to see what they end up doing. AEW World Championship match, triple threat, Samoa Joe versus Hangman Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland. And this story has, what can you say about this story? It's been one of the best things
it's been great
that we've seen in a long time. Just the whole Swerve Strickland Adam Page story from start to finish has been amazing, like a storybook. And throwing Samoa Joe in there to kind of be like, hey, I'm over here, excuse me, I'm the champion, is so funny.
I love it. Do you keep him wanting or
I don't know.
So listen, it's very rare for a match of this magnitude to make me want to see it. Normally the main event's not my deal.
Right.
It's not. Like we've overplayed it so much.
Right.
That it's obvious how it's going. A lot of times.
Right.
This match though, I know it's not the main event, but it's it's a main event.
It's the championship match.
I truly freaking feel that you can't pick. It's hard. Like
it could go so many different ways.
So Hangman's been brilliant.
Yes.
He has reignited Hangman Page. Mm-hmm. I love it, from the Magnum TA look to the freaking Cowardly Hill BS doubting, all this stuff. I love it, right? From the drinking blood on.
Yes.
So Hangman winning it, that'd be awesome. He'd be a great champion. I would love it. Samoa Joe. He's early in the title reign.
Yes.
And he's doing a damn good job.
Amazing.
I love...
Give that man gold and he just wears it like it's his.
I love Samoa Joe being the champion, right? But, my God. It's summed up in 2 words. Whose house?
Swerve's house.
Whose house?
Swerve's house.
Whose house?
Swerve's house.
I think that right now, do you want that momentum?
Yeah. It's like we talked about earlier. Like you got the momentum. Do you want to capitalize on it right now?
It's when you've got lightning in a bottle and you've actually captured it there.
Yeah.
It's hard to get it in there again.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get it in there. It's hard to put the fucking toothpaste back in the tube and any other thing you want to say. But when you capture lightning in a bottle, it's special.
Yeah.
And I think we've got lightning in a bottle with Swerve. I think that there's so many reasons I would love to see him. He deserves it.
He does.
He absolutely deserves it. And I think that he is a champion, man. I think that guy oozes champion.
He does, yeah, absolutely. And the problem is there's like storyline potential for this to go all 3 ways, where you have Adam and Swerve costing each other the match with their feud so that Samoa Joe can sneak in and get the win. You've got the potential of Adam doing something extremely terrible and fully turn himself heel to win the match and get the belt. And then you have the glorious, I think, most feel-good moment that has happened in a long time, where Swerve Strickland wins the belt at last. And it could go either of those 3 ways. So, I think spirits would be the highest if Swerve were to win.
Representing AEW as a company, I think that Swerve embodies the vision.
He does.
Because, he is like the hybrid between traditional old school worker and high spot machine. You know, like he's got the violence.
Yes.
He's got the promos.
Yes.
He's got the looks.
Absolutely.
He's got the youth.
Yeah.
And I just think it's his time. I really do. And you know, he's a flawed character.
Yeah.
If there's ever been a flawed character, he's a flawed character. And you know, he knows it. He's realized it now. He's obviously feeling remorse. He's already had matches where he said, "Hey, don't interfere in this."
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's known that he's pushed people to these limits to bring out the best in them because he's such a competitor and he's such a champion that he wants the best. You know, he's not cowardly.
Right.
He doesn't want to beat somebody that's on one leg. He wants to pull out the best opponent he can.
Right.
And I think he's done that. I think his job is well done. And I think deep down that Hangman knows that too.
Yeah.
That Hangman realizes that he's brought out the best him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, you know, so it's a hell of a story.
Yeah. We're going to be rooting for Swerve.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So I got to go Swerve.
Yes. And that brings us to the match of the night. The reason we're all here, why we're in Greensboro for this Revolution. Sting's retirement match, where Sting and Darby Allin, the current AEW Tag Team Champions, will be taking on Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, the Young Bucks.
You're not going to get fined. You said it correctly.
Oh, yes. I have to watch myself.
So I think that this match is going to exceed any and all expectations that people had.
Yeah. It's going to be emotional.
I am terrified what Steve Borden will do in his final match, riding the emotional high that he's riding, and in front of 18,000 people in the arena that made Sting a household name. The arena that on a Sunday afternoon versus WrestleMania 4 on free TV, that Sting went 45 minutes with the Nature Boy and became, 2 years into his business, man, became the legend, the man called Sting. And through all the incarnations that we've had of him, it doesn't matter who wins or loses in this match.
No.
It matters that somebody who's given their life to this business gets the send-off that they deserved, not the send-off that WWE screwed him with. And, you know, he gets to do it on his terms, his way, in front of his people, going full circle story back to the place that made him. And that is why I love professional wrestling.
This match is more than a match, going to be just a celebration of everything he's given to the people over his career. And there's not going to be a dry eye in the room.
No.
After this is over, win, lose, or draw, it's just about being able to experience it.
It's perfect having the Bucks in it. I love having the Bucks in it. And people get drawn in too much to stuff. And the Bucks are the reason we're here.
Yeah.
They're the reason that there is an AEW, no matter what anybody wants to ever say.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be one if it wasn't for the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're the ones that brought indie wrestling back. They're the ones that brought the fun back in wrestling. They're the ones that put the incredible, unbelievable tag team matches, main events. You knew if there was a Young Bucks match that there was going to be a hellaciously overbooked, amazing match.
Yes.
And it was going to blow everything away.
Yeah.
So I don't think that they lose sight of that, because Darby Allin has also had a penchant for the chip on his shoulder.
Going crazy.
And Sting is Sting. Sting was doing that crap, you know, doing planches and shit before they were cool. So I think that
it just makes sense together.
Yeah, I think it's a brawl. I think you have to brawl with Sting. And I think that it's going to have so much fun and so much fan service.
Yeah, absolutely.
That it's going to be a really feel-good type event.
Yeah.
And you're going to get probably the entrance is going to be
insane,
mind-blowing, because you're talking 18,000 people that a lot of people that haven't gone to wrestling in a long time, like I've heard people that I'm friends with, that people that, live hundreds and thousands of miles away,
right,
are all coming to the historic Greensboro Coliseum. And let me tell you, sister, when you walk the halls of the Greensboro Coliseum, you feel the history.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just there.
Right.
And you just feel it and you love it. And that's going to happen, man. That's going to happen. It's
I'm getting like goosebumps just thinking about it, honestly.
In back in 1983, they shut down the interstate going both ways for final conflict. And it's back to that. It's back to, that level of excitement in the Greensboro Coliseum. And they did it with, so many great events, from the Starcades to everything they've had in that Coliseum, and to celebrate Sting, celebrate Jim Crockett Promotions, celebrate wrestling. My God, it's going to be amazing.
It is.
And that makes this card top to bottom, right? That's what they say.
Yeah.
Top to bottom. But this card,
oh man,
this card feels like the relaunch.
It does. It's like everything starts here.
Yeah. Everybody's on the same page. We've got a lot of new stars coming in.
Yeah.
We've got,
in a matter of days following this.
There's no hangover from this because we've got the big events coming up after this. Mm-hmm. We've got Boston. Yeah. We've got the Arthur Ashe Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
We've got All In.
Yeah.
It's like boom, boom, boom. It's like a roll, bud. I mean, it's
2024 is going to be nonstop.
I really,
for everyone.
I really think that it's nice to see somebody leave, and it's a happy thing.
Yeah, it's nice to see someone have a send-off that makes you proud.
Yeah, you're happy. You're happy he gets to go right off into Stingland. And,
yeah. And I think it's beautiful that he gets to include Darby in it, because they formed such a beautiful friendship.
What a rub.
Since they've been here together.
What a rub.
Oh, it's just going to be a moment that people are going to be like, I remember that when that happened when I was younger, and it's something I'll never forget.
It's as much as All In was a spectacle, this is an event that puts you on the map.
Yeah. I just can't wait.
Because this brings a lot of eyes that hadn't seen the product.
Yeah.
Some that haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it does. For everybody that it pulled into the Greensboro Coliseum, it's pulling in just as many on pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah.
I think
people that haven't watched since Sting had that match all those years ago.
They're going to tune in and they're going to see Ospreay and Takeshita.
Man.
They're going to see these things that are just like, holy shit, why am I not watching this?
Right.
So I'm excited.
Me
I couldn't
too.
be more excited.
Yeah. As we speak, we are 3 days away from Revolution. And it just, the anticipation is insane.
Yeah. It's amazing.
I cannot wait.
All right.
That brings us to the end of our preview for AEW Revolution as it stands now.
Yes, we'll turn a lot.
And the end of our episode. So hopefully you enjoyed our previews. Like, we had 2 major previews on this show, and we're just riding high on the wave of women's wrestling right now with all this amazing Stardom stuff, all the stuff they're doing in WWE and AEW and Ring of Honor, crowning new champions. Like, everything has been so good. So
join us for live tweeting during Revolution.
Yes, absolutely. Watch out for that.
Yeah, so we're going to have a lot of fun there in that one.
And during night 1 of the Cinderella Tournament, for sure.
Absolutely. I can't wait. So very excited about that.
So follow us on social media at Wrestling Is Her so you don't miss out. And we will see you next time. I'm Raja. He's John. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.
Bye.